Hi, it's Naomi with Naomi's Tarot, and this is your pick a number reading. How can you improve your life? How can you change your life? Pick a number or message, 1, 2, or 3. How can you improve or change your life? If you chose message number one talks about doing your research. You can improve your life by educating and researching something more. There's something that you haven't quite paid enough attention to that you really need to educate yourself on. There's something you need to learn about or some skill you need to pay attention to. This is a good time while everybody is locked down to do that. You need to pay attention to something, maybe some detail that you've missed. Use caution as well. It talks about, not second guessing yourself, but reflecting upon something before you act, giving yourself enough time before you decide to do something, and really doing your research and picking up enough knowledge about something before you do it. To complement that message, your message is core. Core from the Sacred Earth Oracle says, a choice reveals what is at the heart of a situation. Often external pressures and you are seeking inner calm. Wealth, relationships, family, independence, control. Choose wisely. You have your heart to answer to. Shallow compliments or an aversion to meaningful dialogue is a red flag. So it's like taking a step back, doing your research, reflecting if someone or something is really right for you, not jumping with something just because you're hearing a lot of promises or it looks too good to be true. It might be. Not all the time. Sometimes we really do deserve the great things in life, but sometimes things are too good to be true. So seek inner calm within yourself. Go with what you know is true within. And if you're going to do anything, try to be a little bit more reserved and do your research first and educate yourself more on something you've been wanting to do. Okay. And that's about it. So thank you for watching. And if you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. Readings are on sale for $20 a question. Used to be $25. Just wanted to let you guys know. If you chose message number two, you're going to make change or progress in your life by letting go of illusions, 7 of Cups or Hearts reversed. There's something that you're not seeing because your head is kind of in the clouds right now. Now, it's not a bad thing to be optimistic. It's not a bad thing to wish for the best for things or hope for the best. But sometimes, in some cases, we do need to understand and see reality. And we need to see things for what they are. We need to be able to process and accept things for what they are. We need to be able to appreciate things for what they are. And appreciate them, but also stay grounded in what reality is. Sometimes when we look at things with rose-colored glasses too much, something can smack us in the face that we didn't see coming because we didn't prepare. So this talks about preparation, not walking around with illusions, seeing things for what they are, but also still, enjoying your life. It doesn't mean don't enjoy yourself, don't think negatively all the time, but you've got to be grounded in reality to some extent as well. Center yourself. The advice is do not confuse selfishness with self-centering. This is about putting yourself first and knowing what's right for you and not letting all of the, glazed over things that people say be enough for you. Some people may dismiss your intuitions or your feelings about something and act like, oh, it's not anything. You only have yourself to answer to. You don't have to answer to what other people's opinions are of what you feel is. And quite frankly, sometimes we have to learn the lesson of when we no longer decide to live in illusions, it doesn't mean other people are going to join us. It doesn't mean other people are going to be open-minded to what we have to say or our rejection of illusion. So a lot of things that are happening right now in the world, for instance, people are living in illusion and refuse to accept the truth. And it's not always our job to bring them along with us on the realization of truth, whether we are correct in it or not, because quite frankly, some people don't appreciate or deserve our inner truth and knowledge when they reject it. And so it's about finding that center within yourself and knowing that that inner center is true for you, whether other people acknowledge it or not, and finding that solace in putting yourself at the center of your life and understanding that you are number one in your life and you always will be. Unless you have children, of course, then I always say that's the only time you put somebody above yourself. But if you want to truly be a self-centered individual who puts the self first and has your own universe revolve around yourself, and you choose not to have them, that absolutely would be the case. Or, if they're grown so much, they're completely self-sufficient. But, being centered means you don't let others knock you off course. It means that you do extend your positive sphere of influence, but you take it back when people don't want it anymore. You fill your own self up. And you reject those illusions you lived under. You stay cautiously optimistic, but you also live in reality. If you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. Readings are on sale for $20 a question until April 23rd. They're normally $25. Thanks. Bye. If you chose message number 3, message number 3 says, how will you make progress or improve your life or change your life? It's going forward and not looking back. In many ways, right now, this world has changed. If you're watching this around, when I'm doing this video, which is April 2020, you can watch this video anytime, but especially if you're watching it in April 2020, the world in many ways has changed and it's never going to go back to normal, unfortunately. If you would like to know more about why that is and what the truths behind the veil are and what we're being told and what the truth really is, you can go to my Patreon. The information is down below. But just to tell you, regardless of the world not going to be the same or not, we don't really have much control over that, but we do have control over what direction we decide to go in. And this card, the Prince of Swords, is asking you to go forward and not look back. Now is not the time to ruminate or look at the past. Now is the time to look forward with a new game plan. And now is the time to think, not what should I have done in the past, but what am I going to do going forward? This card is about forward motion. It's about looking forward towards the future. It's not about looking back, and it's about swiftly going towards the future. So what is your new future going to be? How are you going to swiftly go towards the future? And how are you going to create more productivity in your life? How are you going to have energy and experiences that you can transmute into a meaningful, life-affirming outcome? How are you going to put things into perspective and overcome obstacles like they are just stepping stones? How are you going to do what you can, when you can, and make progress? And how are you going to make effort into transforming an idea or an experience that we currently have right now in April 2020 with this pandemic? And how are you going to make new form and growth based on this? So this is kind of saying, as I said, it's not about changing what's going on. It's about transforming yourself and surviving despite what's going on. And whether or not you watch this in April 2020 or not, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you're dealing with right now, whether it's in the world or just personally or it's both, how are you going to use what you have to transform a better future for yourself? Because this is within you. It's not about, to some extent, it is what's outside of you. But how are you going to work with what you've got? And for lack of a better terminology, without using cliches, I'm going to have to, how can you make lemonade out of lemons, right? How could you make the best of what you're given right now? Make a game plan and empower yourself. Just don't idly sit by, waiting for your check, helplessly saying, what can I do? How are you going to make a plan of what you will do? I, for instance, have decided to take it upon myself to no longer work in face-to-face counseling. I've decided to only apply in online counseling jobs because I feel more comfortable not being around the general public anymore. That's an example of how can you do things with what you've got. How can you make a plan of what you're going to do in the future? So how are you going to make a plan? And how are you not going to look back, but how are you going to look forward? That's how you're going to make change. And if you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. Readings are normally $25. They're on sale for $20 until April 23rd per question. Thank you. Bye-bye.